see you again. It's great to be here. The other candidates are here. I'm coming back. It's so nice to be here. I represented this area in the City Council and Congress for years. I definitely continue to eat just because I've missed a few meals, as you can see, doesn't mean that you should. Look, one of the things that hasn't been really discussed enough in this campaign for mayor is the fact that for the last several years, there's been a huge gap growing between the cost of living adjustment for Social Security and the rents. We've gone through a period, 3 of the last 5 years have had a Social Security cost of living adjustment of 0, and in those 5 years, the average rent increase has been 4.5%, sometimes as much as 7%. And there isn't much that I can do about the Social Security COLA situation. As you know, I've come here and talked about the idea that we need to change the way they do that formula so it takes into account the high costs in New York City. But one of the things I can do is talk about the importance of making sure that rents for seniors don't rise faster than the COLA. So that's what I propose doing, saying that if the COLA goes up 0, then the rent can't go up much more than that. And the reason is, it's the single biggest costs that go in to the Social Security, to Social Security, and Social Security for 80% of all seniors is there, if not their only, one of only 2 sources of revenue that they have. The other thing that also hasn't been discussed enough in this campaign is how dangerous it has become for senior citizens to cross the street. It has become a full contact sport. The most dangerous place to be a pedestrian if you're a senior citizen nowadays is when you're crossing the street when you have the right of way. Because cars turn in front, cars turn behind, and cars don't yield. And part of the reason is we do very little enforcement on making sure that cars yield to pedestrians. And by the way, it's also bikes. Bikes don't yield to pedestrians either, and both of those things need to change. So that's a couple of the things that I've talked about during this campaign, some of the things that have to change dramatically. I want to say, just by way of thank you, I haven't seen some of you in a little bit of a while. But this, obviously, I've probably spent more time standing in this spot holding this microphone, maybe not this exact one, than probably any elected official in a very long time. So I just want to say thank you for the generosity and the kindness that you've shown to me and my family over the years. I'm going to come around and say a word of hello. I don't know, Isaiah, did we bring some cookies? So we have some cookies. You'll get those after. As you're eating them, remember that they came from Weiner. And don't forget, September 10th is the primary, so also don't forget to vote in that. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch. Oh, and by the way, also, I should not remember to say this. A good Yontif and a good Yor for all of you who are celebrating. May you have nothing but sweet things in the year to come. Thank you. How are you? What's the name of your daughter?
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I'm going to give you back to Mom now. She's doing terrific. She misses you. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your lunch. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. How are you?
What about graffiti?
Look, well, I was, back in the day, back when I was in the city council, when you were a young man, I proposed getting rid of those solid gates in front of the stores that just become kind of blank tapestries for someone who wants to graffiti. I also funded a program, you're going to laugh, where we took at-risk kids and we put them to work cleaning up the mess that they make. Rather than just giving them a ticket and sending them on their way, we put them to work cleaning up. You know, we called them Weiners cleaners. We would send the kids out there and they would clean up graffiti. The problem is we give these kids a ticket and then send them on their way. Sometimes they pay, sometimes they don't. What we should really do to punish them is put them to work cleaning up the sites that they did. I mean, because very rarely do they do any enforcement on that stuff.
Or put them away.
Well, okay. Throw a kid in jail for graffiti, but I think it's much more effective, frankly, to, hey, Andrew, why don't you help this young man out?
Whether you can accomplish it or not, if you just espouse it, there are subway stations, elevated trains, 60, 70 steps.
Yeah.
See, many seniors cannot.
Plus the disabled, plus people like me who have a baby in a carriage. I'm telling you, it's true.
Either escalators or many elevators.
No, I think, look, they've got a lot of those stations in Manhattan. Very few of those stations in the boroughs. And they frankly, it's just a matter of accessibility for a lot of people who are, I guess that's true. Look, but I got to tell you something. The MTA capital budget always seems to have a lot of money that's padded in there, you know.
I think you should mention it in some of your
It's a good point.
Right.
Right. That's a very good point.
Because they saw
Well, you know, it's a very good point because it helps. Because remember, during the Koch years, when there was a big focus on cleaning up the pooper scooper laws, it really made things better because people talked about it. But you're right. You're right.
they have to start from school.
I agree with that. I agree, but talking tachlis, you know, there is a sense of decency everyone should have. You shouldn't have to tell someone don't throw papers on the floor.
But if I say, they will punch me in my nose.
It's true. It's true. You're
Okay,
exactly
thank
right. I want to tell you something. It used to be when I would get stopped in the subway by someone who had my mother, they were pretty young. Now, I'm like, really? It's like someone walked up to me with a couple of kids, and they're like, okay. So, but I'll tell my mom you said hello. Thank you, dear. It's nice of you to say. I could use your vote. And thank you. If I win by one, I know who to thank. All right. Take care. Take care, Ms. Rubin. Your lunch. Have a sweet holiday and a good year. Is that true? That's a great story. Great story. Tell this guy that. Very nice to see you. Have a good holiday.
What's the story?
Thank you very much.
Huh? What's the story?
Yeah, she gave me certificate for citizenship 10 years ago.
Are you related to Borat?
Hey, nice to see you, champ. How are things? All
Let's
right.
talk tachlis. Poopa scoopers and Weiners cleaners. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, sure. Well, the pooper scooper law is one of the successful experiments. Take care, guys. See you soon. Was one of the successful experiments in getting people to change their behavior, and it shows you that if you focus on quality of life things, people do change. There's been a little bit of a decline recently in the enforcement. Partially, the problem is they're giving the tickets to the dogs, and the dogs don't seem to pay them. They don't seem to read the tickets very well. So I think we should give the tickets to the owners instead. It might be more effective. Should condoms be the New York City condoms? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And
That's the question they're asking at the debate. Those Republicans get tough questions. All right, guys. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.